Hey family, how you guys doing? Welcome to Phie.Love Intuitive Conversations. I hope you guys are good. If you like my content, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any negativity, any hate, keep that all on your side of the street, okay? It will not be acknowledged. Now, my tummy is making a lot of noise today. I'm not sure why, so if you hear it within the video when I'm talking, just know it's my tummy, okay? I am a human. Okay, so let's get into this. Today, I'm being guided to bring people's awareness to themselves and to sit and ask themselves if they're the kind of people who would rather die than change. Oh, I mean, in a world where we always hope for everything to stay the same and nothing to shift because, you know, as much as things are always changing around us, we all want to feel secure in some kind of way, especially because we're in a world where we're constantly being attacked on on the basis of our security, on the basis of our own personal health and safety, all these things that they roll up inside of us to get our anxieties and for us to be obsessive over things and for us to be in a constant state of worry, you know, over things that really, you know, don't need to be so, we don't need to be so hung up about, but all the input and whatever they make a fashion for a specific time to achieve a specific goal with a certain agenda, having a population or having people in a state of fear and unease makes them want to hold onto anything that, even within themselves and their relationships or whatever it might be, makes them want to hold onto things that give them the illusion or the perception that it's going to stay the same. And this creates a little bit of unconscious resistance within ourselves and causes us to be averse to things that bring about the idea or the need or the action of changing. And a lot of the time, I think, you know, we can think about changing, but do we ever really change, or do we maybe just learn how to adapt to certain situations? Are we able to go within and recognize that, you know what, this is a really unhealthy trait that I carry or that I project or that I engage in that keeps a repetitive cycle of certain issues within my life? Am I willing to change? Do I need to change? Or am I so unconscious about my resistance to change that when I'm faced with the situation of maybe needing to get real with myself and change, I go into a state of maybe I'd rather die. It's a real thing. Getting unhooked from our habits, from things that seem normal to us, things that we've convinced ourselves bring us some sense of security. Changing those things means facing some really, really deep emotions, facing a level of depth within yourself that is not achievable just by, you know, trying to focus on what comes up on the surface. Change requires strength. Change requires restraint. Change requires awareness. Change requires commitment. But most of all, before a change can happen, it requires recognition. Recognition of what needs to change, recognition of how that thing is affecting your life, maybe the lives of others. recognition of a cycle, recognition of wanting things to be different, but not actually being able to take the steps to cause or bring a difference that requires change, that requires moving into new territories, that requires getting comfortable in something or a space, or feelings of fluidity and unease until you get to ground yourself again. Change is hard, and change isn't for the weak. That I can tell you. The weak would rather stay. The weak would rather stick to the devil they know. The weak would rather make what isn't working work and just, adjust it or sweep it under the rug instead of change. We exist in a world where we just have so many adjustments of the same thing, but nothing has ever, or a lot of things, let me rather say, have not really, in the perception of humans, changed, evolved, grown, because of how uneasy it makes us, how insecure it makes us. Now, I can even just say this on a surface level. Can you imagine some of the deeper issues and things in your life that you've become so unconscious about that really do need a change? But because of your fears, maybe to even just look at it and confront it and let go of something that doesn't serve you, but at the same time is so familiar to you. Are you the person who can change, or would you rather die? Can you make a change and stick to it? How strong is your inner will to change something within yourself, within your surroundings, within a relationship, within a way of doing things that you've become so accustomed to? It might not be the greatest way of doing it or give the best results, but because it's what you know, because it's what you're used to, and it's because maybe it's what people around you have just accepted out of you and expect out of you, because it's what you've gotten people used to. You as a human being, this is what you bring to the table. You would rather just keep it that way. And not recognize any sort of reason or need for a change. Would you rather change? Would you change, or would you rather die? Something to think about, right? So, yeah, fam bam. Take time to sit with yourself. Think about the stuff in your life that is very repetitive, that bothers you, but you choose to not allow it to be something on the top of your list because it might require a change, action, or a let go of something that has become very repetitive or familiar to you, or that is there because it gives you some sense of security, but it might give you security, but it doesn't allow you to grow. Is it a dependency? Is it a habit, a way of thinking? Are you relying too much on somebody to help you be secure in your life and not, getting in touch with your inner guidance that is going to guide you to a place of being able to take a leap of faith and say, no, thank you. I'm not in need of this from you anymore. I'm willing to now take a step, at least a leap of faith, and do it on my own? Are you dependent on people, things, resources that maybe you haven't wanted to recognize that maybe it's time right now that I start working on being more self-sufficient in this? It might make me feel a bit insecure for some time. It might make me feel a bit unstable for some time. But once I've got the change going and have recognized where I'm ready and okay to put my feet down, then you know what, I'm gonna be good, and I would have established some sense of security for myself in, you know, a certain area or space of my life. Have you become too dependent on the opinion or advice of somebody? Are you maybe not taking the time to reflect that you need to start making a change and moving towards depending and trusting yourself a bit more? Yeah, it's things to think about, right? Because I can tell you right now, we all have that area in our lives, areas in our lives that need change, where we've rather chosen the security of the situation, be it good, okay, even if it's bad for us, okay, because it brings some sense of security, it brings some sense of consistency, some sense of it might always be there. We don't make the change, and the thought of making the change can make you feel like you'd rather die. I've been there. I've had things that I, because of maybe my own traumas from the past and, you know, things that were only meant to be helping hands, I became dependent on, and didn't even realize that I created dependencies. I got comfortable in certain things that were actually taking away from my own evolving, my own growth, my own the gifts that I could give myself for recognizing that I can do certain things on my own too, you know. And after getting really comfortable in those things, it was very hard to break away, and, you know, pushed me into places of having to engage emotions and levels of resistance, and get real with the willpower within myself and the support of spirit to break away from certain dependencies. And it could be anything: support, finances, certain environments, certain people. Things that make you feel safe but don't actually encourage you being dependency free and dependent on yourself. So, yeah, take time. Just take time to think about it. Write down, even if it's the silliest small things. Write it down, make a list. I'm not saying immediately do something about it, but acknowledge the things in your life and don't judge yourself. Acknowledge the things in your life that maybe do need and require a change, or just where maybe you're dependent on something or someone outside of yourself. Write them down, acknowledge them, and then put it aside for some time. Come back to it next time and ponder it again. Ask yourself, okay, well, now that I've acknowledged these things, which one of them, even if it's the smallest ones, which one of them would I personally be willing to let go of and change? Can I? Do I have the ability to stick to it? Am I strong enough to, you know, tell somebody that I'm ready to do something a different way, and be okay with them maybe being upset with me not depending on them anymore, and letting the next person know, look, it's nothing on you, I want to do this myself now, okay? Because some people, they like having people dependent on them. They do. Some people like it because it makes them feel needed. Some people need that, to feel needed, and will cripple you because of their issues, make you get comfortable in needing them because they need you to need them, and you are then being crippled because someone's making you comfortable in being dependent on them. So figure out if you're interested at all in changing those things, or if you'd rather die and you'd be like, you know what, I'll deal with it in the next life. Because this kind of stuff, if we don't learn them, like I said, we're here on earth to grow, to learn, to get rid of karmic things, cycles, things that we're dependent on, stuck to. Yeah, if you don't work those things out and learn to deal with your emotions and your vices and what we call the devil energies of obsessions that we maybe don't even want to recognize a lot of the time are obsessions and dependencies, that shit gets carried over into the next life. That's part of what we're here to learn and overcome and conquer, is our emotions and how we deal with limitation in everything. And the system that I'm always talking about is what is designed in there to take our attention off of working through those things and create more obsessions and dependencies within us and around us, and to tie us more to each other by making us feel insecure, making us feel like our security in whatever way, shape, or form, mentally, physically, emotionally, is always threatened in some way, because that means then we then develop dependencies to feel secure. So yeah, I can get into it a bit more in the future. I'll see how I'm guided to tackle maybe this issue again if something comes up. But yeah, let me pull a card from the Ascendant Masters and wrap up the video. I hope that what I said has resonated with somebody and brings a little bit of relief and an encouragement to change and shed a few things from their lives that they really don't have to have there. The card that came out is Listen. And the Ascendant Master is Manjushri. Manjushri. Let's see what the book has to say, okay? For Listen. There we go. You can hear your divine guidance best by quietening yourself and listening. Shut out, and I'm telling you, when you start engaging in change and moving into a space of becoming more dependent on yourself, quietening yourself and getting in tune with your divine guidance, which is your inner voice, not the one that spews out doubt, fear, and anxiety. Become aware of your thoughts, okay? The one that is encouraging, the one that is trying to guide you in the right direction, the one that is guiding you in the direction of that which is not comfortable for you. It's going to help you. It's going to support you in ways that, we've never been taught about in school, in church, anywhere. It's going to support you. Shut out noisy stimulation like telephones and television and relax in a quiet place. Don't try to make anything happen. Just listen to your own thoughts, breath, and the rhythm of your heart. Then mentally ask questions of your guides and angels. Listen to the loving truth that they speak in your heart, body, and mind. Listen to your own inner truths, trust your intuition, and take action accordingly. Other additional meanings of this card. Have a quiet retreat. Your guides and angels are talking to you. Are you listening? There, my tummy is going. I don't know if you heard that. Less talking and more listening is called for right now. Admit your true feelings to yourself. Listen to what messages any aches or pains are trying to tell you. The body always talks to those who listen. I think that was beautiful and also very relevant to what we've been talking about. You definitely do need to listen to yourself and your mind, and what your inner guidance is telling you that you need to change if you take the time to sit down with your pen and paper and write down everything that you think you could maybe think about or engage in changing within yourself and around your life, right? Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? If you haven't hit the like, share, and subscribe button on your way in, please do so on your way out. It doesn't cost a thing, okay? Bye.